QB1. Mr. Rodgers did not come to town to compete. No.
Here's
Rodgers.
where the question mark is thrown in there. If he wins and Ilya wins, do you not think about it?
I'm Joffey Joe. This is the show. Call it how I see it. And on today's episode, got a couple of things. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to switch things up, all right? Not the same intro anymore, all right? But I want to get to the chase here. I got Glenn Pratt in the house, and we are here to talk about the NBA Finals. And I have Carlo Esco in the house, and we are going to recap UFC 316. So that's all you got to hear. It's going to be an action-packed episode. You don't want to miss out on it. And we're back this week, and we have the one and only Glenn Pratt in the house. How you doing, G?
Yo. You know when I hear from Joffey, you know it's time to call it how I see it. Let's get it, and we're going to get it done. So, as we were talking about on the last episode, we were talking about, the possible NBA matchup of the Pacers and the Thunder. Now we're here, and we're 2 games in, and now tonight we're going to actually have them play. But I wanted to talk about this matchup and series before the game starts in Game 3 in Indiana tonight. But a lot has been going on. Game 1 was a big shocker. I mean, no one really saw Halliburton coming out and hitting that shot in the last second, coming back from another 15-point deficit and just, pressing all the right buttons where Carlisle I have to give credit to. But Game 2 happened, and we kind of saw what we expected to happen happened. It just, from what I've seen, G, from these first 2 games, from, just overwatching things, I've really kind of just see, the first quarter is competitive, and then the meat of the game, the second, third quarter, especially after halftime, the Thunder just keep pushing, and they get ahead, and then that's where Indiana falls behind, and then maybe they're able to kind of pull a comeback like they did in Game 1, but Game 2 it seemed like the Thunder were able to smother that, and that's kind of been most of the theme of the Thunder this year from what we've been watching. They've been really good, meat of the game, they get ahead, and they just win the game outright. But some teams like the Nuggets in this playoffs and stuff gave them a hard time, and were able to come back in some of the games in that series. So with everything we've seen so far, G, how do you feel about this series now? Personally, I mean, 2 different classes, man. Don't get me wrong, Indiana's a good team.
Yeah.
To me, Thunder are upper echelon, definitely up there with the top teams in the league.
Right.
The series should be 2-0 in my opinion. I mean, granted, give them credit for what they did. Listen, it's 48 minutes. Got to play the whole 48.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Halliburton, his timing has been impeccable these playoffs. I mean, it's hard to argue his effectiveness. Even though he didn't have a great game, he was effective when it mattered. So,
yes.
I mean, a lot of times that's what we all gravitate to is the final kick, catch, at bat. That's the one thing we always gravitate to when it comes to evaluating games and people's and how they do. I mean, even though, did they get 14 points first game?
Yeah, I think it was 15 or 14.
We hit a key shot. So, and like you said, reality set in Game 2. And that's how I think. Personally, I'm going there. They ain't winning another game, man. Ooh. This is over. It's going to be desperation. Don't get me wrong, you're home. Your fans will give you a little buzz, give you a little hype. But reality's about to set in. Yeah, it's over. I'm saying 5. This is it, man. I know everybody wants a 6, want to be nice. I'll give them a get. No, I'm not going there, bro. I'm thinking cream rises to the top. They figured it out. It's time. They're going to run them. Not that anyone's going to fall over, be a walkover by any means.
Right.
Good team at home, fired up. Everybody plays better at home. Your bench players and your role players, they always say play better at home. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, if you're playing the Thunder. Yeah, reality's about to set in.
No, for sure.
So that's my opinion.
No, I hear you with that. I hear you on that, G. Especially with what we last saw with OKC in Game 2. That's what we expect. And then if they do that every time the rest of the series, there's no doubt that they should win this finals and win the championship. I mean, that's what it really breaks down to. But it's the only thing I feel can beat the Thunder is themselves. Honestly, them not themselves. You know what I mean?
That's it.
That's really what it comes down to from observations and what we've even seen what they've done in this whole run. Yes, it's a young team and they're still getting things together and experiencing new things and how things are breaking down for them on the court. They're sometimes the moment is what it is, and sometimes they can handle it, and sometimes they can't. But for the most part, they've been handling it very well. Like I said, other than those couple hiccups where the Nuggets came back and some other things that broke down in other series, but for the most part, I mean, they're a fine, well-tuned motored machine that goes like 10 people deep. You know what I mean? Like it's really they. But from what I've seen, they're very like pesky on defense. They press a lot, and also on top of that, they're where the ball needs to be. And on terms of offense too, with SGA, I mean, we all know what he can do, just getting to the rim and everything. But what that does is, it spreads out the floor, and these guys, some of these guys like Dort and other guys, they're ready to catch and shoot, and they hit the shot. And it's really, it's what they have set up, and having SGA just run everything for them. It's, how they break things down. It kind of wears the team down over time because they're just very efficient, and they keep getting these buckets, and they make the best shot for themselves. And what it comes down to, that is, what basketball really is. So, but like what the Thunder is, I mean, it's crazy to think because we, maybe we weren't ready to see this team kind of take over like they did, but, in terms of every matchup and every series, they are here, and, they're ready to 3 more games, and that's really it. So we're going to see how things break down. So, G, no chance at all for Indiana.
That was a great point you made, though, man, about them beating themselves, man. To me, that's the only way they lose. To me, that's why they lost game 1. Believe me.
That's what I'm saying.
They play 48, how they play Thunder 48. Yeah, Lightning's about to strike. It's over.
No, for sure. So, I understand, you think it's done and over. But, in any type of alternate universe, how would the Pacers, in any type of fashion, try to come back in this? I mean, I know, we were just breaking down, the Thunder just beating themselves. But, you don't see in any type of fashion in the world they can ever not even squeak out one game. Not one game. That would have to be, game 1.
That would be tonight.
Right.
That would be just...
But they're 0-3. That's a weird coincidence too, because they're 0-3 and they're game 3.
The Thunder.
No, the Pacers, I believe.
I think the Thunder have a losing record in game 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, maybe I did read that wrong.
I thought I was just about to bring that point up.
Okay,
I was listening to a guy on the radio, and I could have swore he said this is the game that
Indiana
Thunder struggled, but don't quote me.
Okay. Maybe I could be wrong here. I probably am wrong.
I'm thinking it had to do with the Thunder because this is the game that this guy thinks that they could get got in. So
I mean, if you look at the spread too, I mean, the first 2 games they were 9.5. Now we're looking at 5.5. I mean, just because maybe the Pacers at home.
We got to give it going on the road.
Right.
I mean, it flips. I don't know how many points it flips it, but I mean, they're 9 or 10 when they were at home.
So you don't think if Halliburton went off or he put up 40?
Just don't see it.
You don't see it.
Where's he going off? No, going. I mean,
I don't know.
Just unconscious. Hot. Just throwing. I mean, just going like Klay Thompson crazy. I guess it's possible, but no.
It's very slim. Very slim.
I'm just saying no.
Because
is it absolutely because they're on the floor? Because he has an opportunity, he's going to get them. Being the point guard and runs through him. Go ahead, Halliburton. Show me what you got. What you got, man? I mean, that's what I want to. I don't see it though. No. Tonight he has in the 20s. They're going to be desperate. Don't get me wrong. They're home.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're going to be a pushover.
Right.
But I just think the cream's going to rise, man.
No, a lot of people even like this bet. A lot of people were in terms of the spread from what I was talking about. People like that 9.5 just because Indiana's nature. Obviously, that didn't come through in the game 2, but game 1 it looked good. But in game 3, some people that I was talking to, they kind of even like the 5.5, and maybe what you were bringing up too with the Thunder struggling in game 3. We're gonna have to see. But like you said, if Indiana was to win, it'd have to. Because what we're used to seeing how Indiana wins is with Halliburton facilitating the ball to everybody, and having people like Siakam step up and other guys putting up more points and stuff. But if I felt like they were in a spot where he has to put up all the shots and he has to get hot, I mean, it's not really something that they can bank on to really win on the game, and it's not their formula. It's not their formula for success, and it's not their formula of how they got there. So I don't see it.
That Thunder plays defense. Halliburton's just going to get swallowed up.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
He's going to get bottled up.
That's what I'm saying. They don't run as deep as the Thunder, and nobody really does in this whole entire NBA. So it's just what you're up against when you're playing that team, especially they're young and energetic. But I don't know, G. I feel like the Pacers could win one more game. I feel like it. I don't know, just to help out the finals. I don't know, but it really no doubt about it.
Gentlemen sweep. Thanks for coming, Indiana. Appreciate you guys. It's been real. Gentlemen sweep.
I can see it breaking down like that too. Like I said, especially if the Thunder just play like they did in game 2, there's no chance that Indiana wins the series. And I just, they were
under 2-0 to me, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I give them credit for game 1.
Right.
Doing it, you made the bucket. But nah, man. don't see a road to victory for him. I just don't.
I mean, it's gonna be real. It would be a true underdog story if they really could pull this off, because like they just really are an underdog in every sense of the word.
I'm not going to be pushed over, Joffey.
Right.
They're going to play hard at home. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It might be
competitive.
They're not.
That's not good enough.
I hear you on that. But G, there is something I did want to ask you. On another note, as we've had, as you're rocking that Steelers hat, I did want to ask you something.
Always got my helmet on.
Yes, I did want to ask you something in particular that strikes a little home to you. How do you feel about the new QB1? Possibly, he's still has to win the job, I guess. But how do you feel about the Steelers signing Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, let's don't get this twisted. He's QB1. Mr. Rodgers did not come to town to compete. No. Rodgers, here the keys. Let me give you a list real quick, Joffey. Since Bradshaw retired, Cliff Stout, Mark Malone, David Woodley, Scott Campbell, Bubby Brister, Steve Bono, Todd Blackledge, Neil O'Donnell, Mike Tomczak, Jim Miller, Cordell Stewart, Kent Graham, Tommy Maddox, Ben Roethlisberger, Charlie Batch, Dennis Dixon, Byron Leftwich, Mike Vick, Landry Jones, Mason Rudolph, Devlin, Duck Hodges, Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky, Russell Wilson, and Justin Fields. I just named you all the starters, all the quarterbacks who have started a game for the Steelers since Terry Bradshaw. And I've rooted for all of them. I remember Bradshaw's last game. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I rooted for every quarterback. I root for you if you wear the Steelers uniform, man. I'm all in. Never Rodgers guy. I understand his greatness when he was in Green Bay. With all due respect, still never really was a big fan. Of course, you can't ignore his talent. As a football fan and someone who watches the game like I do, I recognize his prowess. He's a great quarterback.
Right.
Just never a big fan.
Yeah.
I never figured I'd be rooting for this guy. What you got, Aaron? What you got? I'm with you. I mean, not a big fan. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. But he's got the uniform on now, so I'm all in. What you got, Aaron? What you got? Mike Tomlin could use a little spark. A little spark. I don't know what you got. I know he's 40, right? I mean, what are my expectations?
41.
My expectations are, I don't know what the hell is going to happen, Joffey.
Yeah.
That's my expectation.
Yeah, they're really just like kind of throwing him in the fire. And now too, also, I mean, there's different components to this. Also, I mean, we're looking at him playing Arthur Smith's offense, which is very play action heavy. Also, intermediate routes, which he can handle, and which should help him because, in terms of his mid-range type of throws and stuff, we all very familiar with that. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I think it's better than Russell Wilson. I don't know.
No. Yes. Definitely an upgrade.
Right.
I don't know
compared
what
to last
level, but it's a because he's definitely a better thrower of the ball.
Yes.
And I want to say their feet are probably equal. I mean, I know he's 40, Russell's late 30s. I still think he could probably run the ball as good as Russell. I mean, Russell,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And I bet his arm talent is still on a higher level than Russell. But it's definitely an upgrade. No question. He's 40, a few years older, but definitely an upgrade.
No, for sure. I mean, it's just, I don't even know. Like, watching him today, watching some of these clips of him over there, I was just like, this really happened.
Exactly, man.
It is. But, my thing is, too, he said he has his reasons of why he took some time to sign or whatever. But, like, as an organization, I guess they already had an idea that this was going to happen. I guess when the visit happened a couple months back and stuff, when he visited the Pittsburgh Steelers facility and stuff. I just want to know, like, how much this was incorporated with their draft decisions. Like, maybe this is part of the reason why they didn't get, like, Shador or something else like that, or earlier in the rounds with another quarterback on the board. It's definitely feels like maybe this was a behind-the-scenes situation where they kind of agreed that this was going to happen this time, and this is why we did this at this time. I mean, he did say he was going to, play for $10 million, and they gave him $13.75 or something like that. But I mean, he's made a lot of money, and I guess he just wants to prove he can play. I guess in his heart, somewhere in his, somewhere in that conflicted soul that he has, we don't know. But I mean, he's there now, and it's interesting to see him, play against the team that he played against in the Super Bowl. So it's, I never, sometimes the NFL works like that. It's mysterious and things go like that. So.
Oh, this ride could be fun. I heard him say today something about Arthur Smith. He said to the effect of, if I have some things that I want implemented in the offense, I'm assuming Arthur Smith is going to listen. Right. So, and I think that would be par for the course for a quarterback of his ilk to be able to implement or interject stuff into the offense. It only makes sense what he's comfortable with.
Right.
You want to play to his strengths. I mean, he's not 25. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He is what he is.
Right.
So you want to make sure that he's comfortable back there. So, yeah, this is about to happen, Joffey. I didn't see it either, man. But damn, he's out there. You know what? I'm even thinking about getting this jersey to rock for a week. Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, let's go. Let's go, Aaron. What you got?
You rocking that 8, huh?
Hell yeah, why? That's what I'm gonna look for. I'm start looking for it. I saw it. I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna grab one.
You don't have
one against the Jets. What you got, Aaron?
That's
what
big
you
too.
Got?
That's big too. I mean, it's almost like the NFL had an idea about this too. But no, I don't want to say it like that. But I was going to say, G, maybe you have an old Tommy Maddox jersey around where you can throw some tape on the back.
I still got Kenny Pickett's in now. You know what? Listen, like I said, you play for the Steelers. I support you. I like to get jerseys of guys who are either legends or I feel are going to have more than a cup of coffee there. Don't get me wrong. I know Rodgers is a one-year deal.
Right.
So, I mean, what are the odds of him playing more than 1 year in Pittsburgh? More likely, we got Will Howard, baby. What are you talking about? We got Will Howard, the national champion. Will Howard. Yeah, what you got, Will? What you got?
He's waiting in the wings. I mean, hey, man, maybe who knows? Maybe he can get groomed, learn the offense, and, who knows?
Bro, come on. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've watched him. He's just okay. I'm not going to say I was all excited about watching him when I watched him during the college season because Ohio State's on a lot. You know what I mean? Right. See them a lot. So he's okay. It's okay.
Right.
Can he get better? I'm hoping. Take a little notes from Aaron. You know what I mean?
No,
Mr. Rodgers.
No notes from Mason Rudolph.
No. Mason. I mean, Mason is a vet. I mean, I guess he has some
value.
I want to say he can contribute some way, shape, or form. I know it's limited. I mean, I respect him. He's been in the league.
But
yeah, I just don't want him to start. I don't want him to start. Hey, listen, Mason, stand up there. If I need you to come in for a couple of snaps, Mason, all right, so-and-so's back. Let's go. I mean, don't get crazy. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to keep him in there too many snaps. That's how I look at him. He's limited, man.
No, I hear you on that. I mean, I think we all know what Mason Rudolph is in the NFL. But, G, this has been fun. I'm glad to have you on this week, and I'm glad we were able to talk the finals and even some, QB1 for the Steelers.
Joffey, anytime, man. When you call me, man, want to call it how I see it? Absolutely. Let's do it anytime, Joffey. I'm always available, man. You just let me know.
I appreciate you so much, Jay. Thank you again for hopping on.
Appreciate you having me, man.
All right,
you be safe now.
Until next time. And we're back this week, like I was saying. But we got the one, the only, Carlo Esco in the house. How you doing, my guy?
Very good, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing well, yes. And you know why I have you here? I have you here to talk some mixed martial arts, as we had UFC 316 happen last weekend. And I couldn't think of a better person to recap it with than you. So, as we saw some crazy matches, the prelims were nice too, as we saw a lot of fights just break down and go crazy. But the main events, they didn't really spice up too much. I mean, I kind of figured what was going to happen. But it's kind of sad to see one thing go down the way it did with Sugar Sean O'Malley going down the way he did. Also, the Harrison fight with Pena was pretty crazy too. I mean, the way that happened. Some of the other fights too with Holland and even Batista fighting too. That was a good fight. There was, for the most part, I was very entertained. I stayed up as long as I could. I had to catch some of the highlights at the end, but just work stuff. But what I wanted to ask you was, what match outside of the main event caught your eye the most?
Actually, there's two. First one was on the prelims. The Vietnam Phenom, Joshua Van, up and coming at 125. Mm-hmm. Utter domination. Looks crisp, quick, strong. The reason that he's catching my eye is because he seems to be catching everybody's eye. Because now he's running around, taking a short notice fight against the number one contender in that division, Brandon Royval. If he can get past him, we're going to be talking title shot pretty soon.
That'd be a quick come up, really.
It is, but he's that explosive, and he could be that good. This is his biggest test. A win could propel him up there to a title shot, but a loss is not going to kill him because he is very young.
Right, and this is all at 125, right?
125. Alexander Pantoja's division.
I mean, hey, man, he's got someone to look over his shoulder now.
A little bit. But then the other fight is Kevin Holland.
Yeah, man.
The mystery, the legend. When he decides he wants to take MMA seriously, you get fights like he just did. And he was very, very impressive against a dog in Vicente Luque, who's been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
The thing is, Kevin Holland's honest. He doesn't want none of those top guys. He wants losers. He called out Kobe Covington at the end of that fight.
Yeah, I saw that. I was actually interested when he did that.
That press conference, if those two are to fight, would be top 10 of all time. And I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it.
Let's hope that one happens, man, because that would be a good one.
Well, Kobe's on the downfall, and Kevin is kind of floating around where they can fight. So hopefully that can come to fruition. It's a good fight.
No, for sure. I think that would definitely sell it. For, like you said, even given to where they are right now and, their points in career, especially Kobe, man, just like, just all mouth really right now. That's all I'm saying. I love to see Kevin Holland come and go at him and give it to him.
Mouth versus mouth. It's just there for entertainment and money grab. And, while it's not a main event, it can still be on the main card of a pay-per-view or close to a main event of a fight night or something.
Overall, just an entertaining fight. I mean, two entertaining people.
Entertaining fight, entertaining pressers. That's what moves them up the fight card.
Exactly. Sign me up.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
But okay, so we did see what happened in the main event, and we thought Sugar Shane coming back from his injury, would have a better shot in this rematch, but it didn't look that way. So I mean, we saw the better fighter prevail, and I just want to say, man, everybody that comes from Dagestan, man, just like I said, they're all trained killers. They're very hard to beat, and it's just that camp is just crazy, honestly. But what do you think? What do you think is next for Sugar Shane?
Sugar Sean O'Malley. Well, I don't want to correct you, but Merab is from Georgia, kind of like Ilya Taporia.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's still dogs over there. Look at Ilya. He's getting ready to fight for a 155 belt. But what's next for Sugar Sean? Hey, he's got options. He can go for the rematch with Piotr Jan. He can fight somebody like Umar Nurmagomedov.
That'd be a tough fight, man.
It'd be a tough fight, but here's the thing about Sugar Sean.
You have to fight these guys.
He did not fight a bad fight.
No.
He went back to the drawing board and made the proper adjustments. But it is a saying that I heard over the week. Well, once you become champion, you become 30% better. And it's not that Sugar Sean was bad or that he was hurt. It's that Merab was just better. Even with Sugar Sean's improved takedown defense and all that, Merab was just better. The other option for Sugar Sean is to move up to 145. How his power will translate to that division, I don't know. Because they got some dogs up there. The Aljamain Sterling rematch, it's there.
Yeah.
How Sugar Sean do against Alexander Volkanovski? Who knows? He has a lot of options because he is very marketable. I hope he doesn't call it quits, but these next couple fights for him are kind of telltale where he's going. He's kind of at a crossroads because he's not in championship contention right now.
Not in that division right now, no.
He's kind of at like the Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, right in that realm, where he can't challenge the champion again. He reminds me of Holloway when he faced Volkanovski. Lost to him twice, even though he worked his way to a third match, I don't know if Sean's going to get past that 135 division is deep. It's deep.
No, for sure. It's tough. It's going to be tough to come back from all that.
It's tough to come back. I mean, he's not old. He's still 30, I believe, 31.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's still got a lot of life, especially in UFC. Like, some of these fighters, even later on down the line, they, reinvent their careers and stuff.
Right.
But, at the right timing and right situation, too.
I think he should try to hang at 135 for at least one more fight to see where he's at.
Yeah.
Like, top 5 guy, and if it doesn't work out, he has to move up. And see where he's at. Because, like I said, he's at a crossroads.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what he does moving forward. What I wanted to ask you next is Harrison the next big woman fighter?
All right, here's my yes and no for that answer. Yes, I think she's a well-rounded fighter.
Yes.
What I worry about is her making weight.
Okay.
Because she was fighting, I think in the PFL before, I believe, at 155.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at her on the scale. While she might have made the weight fine, it didn't look good.
She seemed heavier, right? It looked like that. She had that appearance.
Look, I don't want to call her a weight bully.
Yeah.
But the Nunes fight is the fight to make.
Right.
They have history. Amanda Nunes left the American Top Team, which was their similar gym, because she heard Kayla Harrison was up and coming.
Right.
They have to fight. I mean, if this revives the 145 division, so be it. But 135 for Kayla Harrison, I have questions. She made it twice. She beat Holly Holm convincingly.
Right.
And she made Pena tap. Even after she heard the clacks for 10 seconds, there was so much pressure, she still had to tap.
I know. She couldn't hang on.
I just want to know, is Kayla too big for these girls?
That's what it seems like. Like you said, almost like a weight bully, but like you can see like the size factor when she steps into the octagon.
Right, because
she's a menacing presence.
She made Pena look like she never fought before.
I know. It just seemed like she was towering her. It just seemed like it was going to be a difficult challenge for Pena.
Well, I have my opinions on Pena. I think she's a dog.
Yeah.
You think she's slightly overrated?
Yeah, she's at that point right now.
Slightly overrated. I think that she caught Amanda Nunes on a bad night.
Mm-hmm.
But I think If they fought 100 times, Nunez is going to win 99.
Right.
You know, that one loss already happened.
Right.
So I'm excited to see the future. We know Harrison and Nunez are going to fight.
Yep, that's the next one.
The rumors are the first fight will be at 145 and the second fight will be at 135.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's healthy for either one. I think a catch weight of I think the title fight at 135 must happen, but I think anything above that, there has to be a catch weight, like 140.
Right. Somewhere they can meet up at.
Right. Because there's no 145 division right now, so what's the point?
Right.
But, you know, Kayla Harrison's future looks bright.
I would agree. I mean, especially if you look at her resume with all this, you know, her background and stuff, you know, coming from that camp as well, like you were iterating, and like, you know, all the medals she's won and stuff, she's a very, you know, decorated fighter.
Yeah.
So her resume really checks out. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how her career moves forward, especially in that division or whatever else might pop up.
Exactly.
So finally, I wanted to ask you, what are you looking forward to next?
Well, this summer is providing us some good fights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest with you. The International Fight Week card, it excites me, but it only really excites me at the top.
Right.
Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira.
Yes.
It enthuses me. I get excited about that.
That's a good one. That's going to come up.
Pantoja against Cara France. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you what. It's my fight night dream, July 19th.
Yeah. And what's that?
I got Manny Pacquiao coming out of retirement, and I have Poirier Holloway the same night.
That's going to be a banger, honestly. I'm looking forward to that one.
And yeah, because they say it's Dustin's last fight. Okay, here's where the question mark is thrown in there. If he wins and Ilia wins, do you not think about it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why not match them up?
Do you think about it? Because this would be Dustin's first title shot against a striker.
Right.
So it'd be interesting, and they both box well. You know, but Max Holloway's no joke.
I know it's going to be. I mean, you know, history involved and everything, and then it being in where Poirier, you know, his hometown and everything. It's gonna be really interesting.
It is gonna be interesting. But have I seen Max Holloway go into the opponent's backyard and beat the man? Yes.
Yeah.
When he ended the Korean Zombie's career.
Right.
But
that's why he's That's why he's the BMF.
Yeah, I mean, ask Justin Gaethje. I didn't want to do it when he was at work, but you know, I didn't want to. But thoughts cross your mind. It's we have a summer full of exciting fights. I'm not going to lie to you, Duplessis versus Chimaev, it doesn't really fancy me because I feel like Chimaev has run through everybody.
Right.
And Duplessis is no slouch, but they're going to have to show me that night.
Right, no, for sure. I hear you on that.
But we have a summer full of great fights. I can't wait.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. It should be very exciting, honestly.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming on, JC, and doing this little recap that we ran through.
I appreciate you having me on, brother. Anytime.
Absolutely. So, until next time, my friend.